Let's get started.
Hey guys, it's your girl Danielle, the Paralegal Betty, here with another video. Okay, now as you can tell from the title, this video is going to center around 5 common mistakes that most new paralegals make when they are new in their role. Okay, I have my notes here on my phone, so I will be referring to that throughout the video to ensure that I stay on track and to ensure that I'm hitting all of the points that I made for this video. You know, I have ADHD, so sometimes I can veer off. So my phone is gonna help me stay on track. Now, let's be very clear, okay, and realistic here. As a new paralegal, and sometimes even as a seasoned paralegal, you are bound to make mistakes, okay? Some mistakes are or can be greater than others, and in some cases mistakes can cost you your job. Okay, so in this video we want to make sure that we hit the main points, or the most common mistakes that most of us make or have made at some point. All right, I'm going to break everything down. Like I said, it's only 5, and then I'm going to give you a solution to those mistakes. So let's hop right in. First things first, one of the most common mistakes is that new paralegals do not clarify the expectations that their employer has for them or of them, okay? So in most cases, you're excited to get into your new role. You're excited that you've been chosen for this position, and sometimes excitement kind of blurs the lines, okay? You want to make sure that you clarify the roles and responsibilities that you will have in this new position. So the ways in which you can do that is ask direct questions. For example, how do you prefer case updates? Do you prefer them via email or in person, or case management note, or in a group setting, like when we all debrief after a case or whatever the case may be? These are questions that you want to ask your attorneys, specifically if you're working for or with more than one attorney, because each attorney tends to like things differently. So you want to have clarification on that. I would say within the first week to 2 weeks, you want to make sure you schedule times or a meeting with your supervising attorney to get clarification on whatever it is that you feel like you're having a tougher time grasping. And if a week is too soon, you can wait until about a month to see if you've picked up on the things that are being taught to you. And if not, then it's definitely time to speak with your supervising attorney, because you don't want to let too much time go by and you're just like winging it, because eventually, like, the workload is extremely heavy. So eventually you'll get so far behind that it'll be too late to like ask for help. So ask for help in the very beginning. And then the third solution to this problem is to keep a checklist of recurring tasks and update it as needed. So it's a horrible idea, and I'm guilty of it, but it is a horrible idea to jot things down on a little sticky note and then just leave it on your desk. You need to have a designated legal pad, notebook, or something where you write all of your tasks that have been completed, all of the tasks that has been asked of you, and just keep everything updated so that you don't get confused. Because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, if you write something on a sticky pad and just leave it there, like, it's gonna get lost amongst all of the junk on your desk, okay? Mistake number 2 that most new paralegals make is poor time management, and because of that, they miss deadlines. All right, as a criminal defense paralegal, I can attest to the fact that it is a very fast-paced environment, and because I work for a state agency in the felony division, I work for more than one attorney, and each attorney at times can have upwards to 60 cases. So if you do not manage your time properly, everyone, you're going downhill, okay? Like, and there will be no one there to save you, because essentially the client is relying on the attorney and the attorney is relying on the paralegal to do your job, okay? So once you get into your role, you'll see that there are an array of tasks that you will be tasked with that must be done, because there's no one else for you to delegate your task to. Like, you have to do what you're assigned. So this means if you fail to meet a filing date or a deadline or court appearances, discovery deadlines, anything of the sort, it will negatively impact the cases that you're working on, ultimately resulting in it negatively impacting the client, okay? So a solution to this issue is to set calendar reminders for important due dates, obviously. Use case management systems, or even simply just use your planner or the tracker that we were speaking of earlier. Like, just jot it down and update it as needed. Also, if a deadline is like right there, if you're right there at the deadline, you need to notify and communicate with your attorney, because let me tell you, sometimes attorneys can be extremely forgetful, okay? So sometimes they forget that they have a deadline coming up. They don't know when something is happening, or sometimes things are just out of their control and they forget, okay? But that's why you're there. You're supposed to remind them of things, remind them of their calendar. I have a attorney who shares his calendar with me, and like, I check his calendar. I send him a text message like, you know, this is coming up or that. Or, so sometimes like you'll be 100% responsible for doing all of that. If you hear any noise in the background, please forgive me. It is my puppy chewing on a bottle. Hold on, let me just. All right, guys, sorry. Now, mistake number 3 that most new paralegals make is failing to properly organize cases. Okay, now as I alluded to earlier, it depends on the environment, or if you're working for a large firm or a boutique firm or whatever, but at any rate, you'll have more than one case, okay? And you need to make sure that you are properly organizing your cases, okay? So if you do not properly organize your cases, it could lead to misplacing or losing, obviously, documents. And obviously, you do not want to have any delays in your hearings, pleadings, or anything of the sort, because again, the client is depending on you, as is your attorney. That's why you were hired, okay? Now, an easy solution to this problem is to establish a consistent file naming system, whether it be for digital files or paper files or both. I like to use both just because technology is phenomenal when it's working, but once it stops, okay, shit is up in flames. Okay, it's like you're losing your shit. So I like to have something to fall back on. Okay, but you want to make sure that you include information like the client's name, date of birth, case number, what they're being accused of, their upcoming trial dates, if certain motions have been put in. You want to have all of that included in the client's file, so that way you don't have to shift through so much to find that information, okay? Another thing is to always scan and save a digital copy of everything that has taken place within this client's file. So if a motion was filed, scan it to yourself and then upload it to the client's file digitally. And then also, like I said, keep a hard copy of it as well. And you want to do that for every single correspondent, whether it's between opposing counsel, the court, you know, what took place, discovery, all of these things. You need to keep a digital copy and also a hard copy, okay? And also make notes of everything for your own keeping, all right? Number 4, okay, this is the 4th mistake that most new paralegals make, not knowing when to ask for help. Now, listen, most new paralegals are, for lack of better words,
Shut up! I'm so fucking scared right now. Shut up!
ask for help because they don't want to look incompetent. They don't want to look as if, okay, I've been hired for this position, but I'm asking for help. I don't want to come off as if I'm not, adequate. I don't know what I'm doing, whatever the case may be. No, that is the furthest thing from people's mind. Okay, when you ask for help, it shows that, one, you are in tune with yourself enough to know your limitations and you're seeking help. Okay, you don't want to come off as if you know it all and you have your shit together and you really don't, because then you could tank the case. Because if you're doing something and you have no clue what you're doing and it's wrong, it takes way more time, effort, energy for someone to come behind you and fix the mistake, as opposed to you just asking for help and doing it correctly the first time. Okay, no one is going to think negatively of you if you ask for help. That is what you absolutely must do. Ask for help. Okay, also, another little tip I want to give you: if you're apprehensive to ask for help because of how it may come off or how you may seem to others, as opposed to saying like, I don't know what I'm doing or I don't know what to do, you should lead with, I would just like to confirm that, and then go into the question. So like I said, it's absolutely okay to ask for help. And 9 times out of 10, these attorneys are, obviously aware of the fact that you're not a licensed and barred attorney. So there are things that you may not know, or even if you have experience, you may not have experience in a particular area. So you're going to need to ask for help. There are attorneys who will ask for help themselves, right? So it's like, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Another thing I would recommend to help remedy this situation is to find a mentor. Mentors are absolutely pivotal in this role, because it's not always what you know, but it's absolutely who you know. Okay, mentors are obviously going to be able to help you navigate certain things. Now, this could be a senior paralegal or even an attorney. Okay, just get a good mentor. Get a mentor who aligns well with your character and your morals and your overall attitude, because you want to make sure that you all mesh well. Okay. And number 5, the last and final thing that most new paralegals struggle with is not protecting attorney-client privilege. Okay. And this means that you just need to keep everything confidential. Okay. You cannot talk about cases, especially if they haven't already played out or if they're not over and done with. You cannot be out here giving people's names and what it is that they've been accused of and all of the details on that. No, you can't do that. Okay. Now, you also need to be, even if you're having a conversation with your attorney, you need to be aware of the setting in which you're having the conversation. Okay. So you can't just talk about a case in the middle of Starbucks or in the middle of the courthouse, just openly. Okay. When you discuss cases, it needs to be in and behind closed doors in the office, not in a public place. All right. Because you never know who knows who. All right. And the best way to do this is, like I said, always talk about everything behind closed doors. Make sure all of your screens on your computer are locked, or need a passcode, or whatever the case may be. And make sure that you are locking your file cabinets and your drawers and everything that's in your office, because all of these things contain personal information. All right. Your emails, if you print things off, you want to dispose of them properly. You want to make sure that your emails are not just visible to the maintenance man. Make sure everything is closed, and make sure it's closed properly. Okay. Because we want to ensure that we are keeping confidential information confidential. Okay. Now, as I stated in the beginning of this video, new paralegals make mistakes. They are bound to make mistakes. And like I say, even seasoned paralegals make mistakes. So I hope this video was helpful. If this video helped you in any way, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please leave all of your comments, questions, and everything down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.